Okay, got it. I just had to make sure I had enough hard drive space. Turned out I had 5 gigabytes left, and if you've ever done any kind of recording ever, 5 gigabytes is nowhere close to being, enough. Anyway, everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So, first and foremost, happy birthday, Soliam. Let's see if we get you killed or not. Because, ideally, within the next 2 to 3 runs, we're going to go off and fight the pig boss. And you're probably going to be in the party. You're Roxy. Either way. So, the other thing to point out, for any of you in the stream tonight, and I guess a week or two later, any of you watching this on YouTube, do not buy this game from anywhere else apart from the Humble Store and Steam. Because there's a person, apparently from India, with like a wildly, obviously fake Windows account or developer account, whatever, selling Darkest Dungeon. It's a 2 megabyte file, and it's quite possibly and probably spyware. So, yeah, do not buy it. That's all I can say here, and like, why would you even? I don't know. But so that is the warning I pass on to everybody. Now let's continue with this, and I'll kind of rant about that as we go along. Okay, so we've got Wolkoff, we got Luna, we got Crazed is a little bit crazy. But we get to camp twice, so it's probably going to be a fine thing, and we'll bring Anxious King. Pretty much the solid B team at this point. And yeah, it's a long dungeon. We're going to have to deal with pigs. Don't like the pigs that much. Worst comes to worst, everybody loses their minds, and we figure it out from there. I don't even know, like, how many torches I'm supposed to bring here, so let's just load her up. I think that's good. So, yeah, unfortunately, they're selling it, full price. I was actually just reading the news right before starting this recording. It's like, wow, that is just, like, the scummiest thing ever. And it's rare, I think, as far as I can tell. It's rare for developers to... Well, not developers, but for people to get away with this sort of thing, to a degree. At least as far as, like, direct impersonation goes. Oh, man, okay, I have quite the rant on this one. It's a little bit, like, my information is only kind of partial as far as things are concerned, just because there's a lot of, like, all over the place. They kind of run into this issue. So first and foremost, if you've ever heard of say sites like G2A, which is technically a reputable site, the problem is G2A is like a key reseller service. So they're effectively eBay for Steam keys, or all sorts of other keys too, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, a lot of stolen keys get shuffled through there. It's it's called the gray market for a reason. So that's like one of the main ways that people like this guy that is reselling, Darkest Dungeon, or, not even reselling Darkest Dungeon. He's not even selling a DRM free copy. He's just selling spyware to people, which is pretty goddamn shady. And I'm just floored that I'm floored by the fact that he managed to make it, what, a good 3 weeks without getting caught? I mean, it's probably less than that, but still. Shoot. Alright, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. It's, for whatever reason, it seems to be Sunday nights always seem to have, weird internet issues. However, for whatever reason, I'm streaming to Texas, speaking of. So we'll see about, like, the frame rate stuff. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Oh god, it's looping. Why is it looping? But crossing my fingers that everything works out fine here. Looks like it's excellent, so hopefully we won't run into more issues. Okay. Okay, now that that's over, back to what I was even talking about. Oh, right. Okay, let's take out the corpse eaters if I can. Yeah. No, God. It seems like once a week I have weird, crippling internet issues that I need to solve. And then once they've been solved, no big deal. It's just once a week. Always annoying. But yeah, to talk about, stuff like the gray market, to talk about stuff like this guy, who's effectively masquerading as the developer, and, you know, not even selling the game, selling a fake version of the game. So I think the way people even figured this one out, the way people figured this one out, I think has something to do with the fact that, well, actually, no, it probably is purely because since the guy was reselling a completely non-functional, you know, version of the game, everybody was demanding, you know, the developer fix the version that was on the Windows Store, and suddenly it's just like, alright, you know, I didn't put this on the Windows Store. What the heck's going on? Oh, bad stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of... Well, no, I know exactly what kind of greedy asshole would do this. Pretty much anybody that just has no respect for anybody else, or just simply doesn't care. I guess those kind of go hand in hand, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, it's just like, it's ridiculous that anybody would even do this. And maybe that's just me from, like, being a video game enthusiast, but I get the feeling this is just somebody who knew a thing or two and saw an opportunity to make a quick buck. And I mean, probably on this guy's end, or woman's end, I don't know, I'll be equal gendered here. Chances are said person is just like, alright, I can do this, make it away with a quick buck, and then run away before anybody catches me. No idea how much they even made. Like, I have to question how many people would buy Darkest Dungeon from the Windows Store. I assume most video game enthusiasts at this point wouldn't even bother with the Windows Store, but I guess there are probably... Actually, who even buys stuff from the Windows Store? That is a pure... Like, just a question in and of itself. I don't even have, like, the semblance of an answer for that. I definitely don't. I tried downloading Project Spark from there. A, that game is a piece of crap. B, it was, like... It was a terrible experience. Just through and through. So, I mean... Oh, you know what? Probably people trying to get it on their, like, Windows tablets and the Windows phone and stuff. I could see somebody doing that. Let's see. I don't know. But, so, to kind of back up, this is not a unique event. You know, somebody impersonating a developer, selling games. Though it's rare. Usually you get caught. You definitely can't pull it off on Steam. Though there are a lot of, like, people that effectively do ripoffs. It's very common on the... It's super common on the mobile market, actually, to, like, clone games and stuff. And... Like, there are whole games that are just completely remade. I've mentioned before I worked for Nickelodeon. We actually had to deal with some people just lifting our games, giving them different images and trying to sell them back to Nickelodeon at half the cost. At which point Nickelodeon's like, no, we already have a game exactly like that. But, thanks for the offer. Which I always thought was, like, the silliest thing ever. Yeah, let's just stun a spider. But it's very common for people to just do, I mean, effectively, theft in this case. Not exactly on the... Well, kind of similarly, but not exactly the same. There's actually a really common trend where people will impersonate Let's Players and ask for games. And if any of you think this is a good idea, don't. A, because it makes, you know, my job a lot harder. So I've asked for games before, and I have to go through, like, several steps of authentication now, simply to get certain games. So I actually didn't end up getting a review copy for Blackguards 2, because I had to go through 3-step authentication with the developer, and one of them got spam filtered without my knowledge. So it's like, alright, I'm waiting for this key, I'm waiting for this key. Oh, I see, they wanted me to confirm my identity. Well, shit. And, I don't exactly remember what... It was a strategy game. God damn, that thing is freaky. Also, 2 large monsters. Do not want to deal with this. Let's go for the Slavering Ghoul, though. But so... man, I really wish I had, like, a mid-tier thing here. Alright, well. Plague Grenade. Probably should have stunned it. I don't even know. But so... a lot of people, for... at least one specific kind of game, I do not remember what the game was called, It was like it was a turn-based strategy game. Not Age of Wonders, but came out at about the same time. I think it was like mid-September. God, that ghoul sucks. But so he actually was like looking, and it was almost half of the copies he handed out ended up on G2A and similar sites, which was brutal. For, you know, the developer, because obviously they were a very small team, comparatively. God damn it, can I not stun either of these guys? Just one of you, please. There we go. I think I've thrown 4 to 5 stuns their way and just nada. Oh god, I hate these slavering ghouls. We might have to camp fairly shortly just because. It wasn't Age of Mythology. It was indie. Age of Mythology was made by, you know, or at least remade by a legitimate crew within or related to Microsoft. I do not actually remember what it was called. But the problem is, the problem is now, you know, that developer inherently distrusts people like me, which is a problem. And I'm not entirely sure how to do this. And I guess the easiest way to do it would be if Steam actually took up almost like an authorized distributor situation. Blight skills? Yeah. Like, if Steam kind of became an authorized distributor of review copies themselves, you know, the developer is like, alright, I will send it to Wanderbots, you know, official Steam account. And, I mean, of course, I'd probably have to go through some kind of crazy authentication process in and of myself. Hello. Crazed, you got some issues to work through. Crazed has some serious issues to get through. But, like, I think that's the best and mainly only way to do it without making it, like, extra harder. No, extra harder. It, like, substantially harder for, you know, me as a person and the developers to start handing out keys. But so, you know, that's a very common thing where people will steal keys from, you know, developers posing to be larger YouTubers. Actually, I was speaking with the Game West guys kind of separately, and they were actually talking about how they're dealing with imposters and impersonators. Because if you haven't heard about Game West, we were talking about on the previous, well, on the podcast I put up, shoot, I guess yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. We were talking about it, and it's like, Game Wisp is kind of like a way for fans to get, like, more content. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm ever even going to integrate it into my kind of content. You need to die. Damn it! But so, it's effectively, I guess the easiest way to say is it's a lot like, Patreon. It's Patreon for, like, you know, Let's Players and Twitch streamers and stuff like that. Which is actually really cool in concept. Shit, I have sent 3 attacks our way and I just have not hit. We are just not doing well today. RNGesus is just... Never mind, RNGesus is just waggling his whatever he wants at me. This is annoying. Okay, well, at least we're keeping her stunned before she can do anything particularly devastating. But so... Yeah, so people pose as Let's Players, and so there's actually some concern as far as, like, the Game West service of, like, are these people... Nice shot, Luna. Are these people even, like, the real people, or would you effectively be trying to run a Patreon for somebody else and just taking all the profits? Which, of course, would be, like, super, well, detrimental. Well, I guess not exactly detrimental to the Let's Player, but definitely detrimental to the YouTuber. Well, not the YouTuber, even. I guess simply detrimental to Game Wisp, which is kind of brutal in and of itself, because, you know, they're a fledgling service, and if you have a bunch of imposters rolling in, but luckily you have to, like, go through and verify your account and do all sorts of extra stuff, just to even, you know, that is not even worth it. So it's like, I've never really considered, and I never ever considered that getting into this, I would ever have to deal with somebody impersonating me as a YouTuber, as a Let's Player, as a streamer, or whatever. And part of it is because I'm so, you know, vocally focused. you know, how would somebody impersonate me? But I guess, you know, have Wanderbot at yahoo.com. Kind of close enough. Like, who the hell uses Yahoo anymore? I don't even know. Wait, no, never mind. Shell does. Whoops. Hello. But apparently it's like a growing problem because, again, back to the whole G2A thing, there will be key giveaways. You know, a developer will, like, run a giveaway or whatever, and it's like, you know, retweets will get this game, so you'll get spammed with a bunch of, like, fake Twitter accounts trying to get a key. Because say you spend, you know, 5-10 minutes running a script to make all of these bot accounts retweet this thing, and you get a $60 game, you resell it for $45, something like that. You make quite the profit from it. It's ridiculous. Right, so we're going to camp here because everybody's going crazy. And then we'll get some inventory space out of the way. Let's see. It's not a bad one. See, this is the one that we're worried about. Unfortunately, I don't think the plague doctors are... Yep, not religious. Probably should have waited on that one. Oh well. This will be enough de-stressing. Methinks. Anything else? I don't even have enough time. That's okay. But... But, like, as far as the... shoot, we're under attack. But, so people will, like, spam giveaways. Humble Bundle. Actually, this was a huge problem in the very beginning of the Humble Bundle site, where, like, in the beginning, there was no minimum amount. And, you know, most of you probably know this. There's no bare minimum on what you had to put in to get a Steam key. It's just like, alright, you know, if you pay 5 cents, you get all of the games for free, effectively. I mean, you get all the games for 5 cents. And you could get some pretty good stuff on that. Unfortunately, what ended up happening for the first, at least, there's a fair number of Humble Bundles. It actually got to the point where they were losing a fair amount of money to people just buying hundreds and hundreds of these, you know, hundreds and hundreds of these Humble Bundles just to resell in G2A as soon as the Humble Bundle's over. Because, well, I mean, say if somebody wants to buy Super Meat Boy now. Well, the Humble Bundle's over, and that's the cheapest place to get it, so... Well, you want the next best thing. You go to the gray market, and oh boy, is that cheap. Because no matter what they do, they turn a profit, because they're selling at least everything for at least $1. That's a, what, 2,000% markup? At the very least? It's ridiculous. And so, like, that's becoming a serious problem. Oh, shoot. Loot bags. So recently, there's actually a fair amount of controversy about Ubisoft, actually. Let's see, these are only worth that much. Yeah, let's get rid of the holy water at the very least. But there's a fair amount of controversy about Ubisoft actually taking down people's copies of various games that they got, you know, keys for via G2A, because, well, it's not a legitimate reseller. These were generally probably stolen from, like, Ubisoft giveaways, or I don't even know where, like, they get half of them. Wouldn't be surprised if some amount of it was, like, hacking or random generation scripts. Again, not exactly an expert on that. But so, a lot of people were actually really up in arms about this, because it's like, well, we bought these games fair and square. It's not our fault that it came from, like, a illegitimate source. And it's like, on some base level, it is. Like, who... I guess if you've never used G2A before, you probably don't think of it as, like, a shady or non-shady site. We don't even need portraits anymore. What am I doing? And, like, I can understand why people would be up in arms, because, yeah, you did legitimately buy it. You just... You legitimately bought it from thieves. No guarantee one way or another. So I actually bought the game minimum a while back for $5, and I was like, you know, how is this even legitimate? So after I bought it, I went around looking, and I'm like, can I return this? Because as far as, like, my personal... as far as, like, my personal experience even goes on the matter, You buy the key, and then you get like a friend request on Steam from some account. I think mine was Russian. And then they give you the game and say like thank you or whatever, and it's just like, this is the sketchiest thing ever. And the thing is, you can pay like an extra 50 cents, give or take, for insurance. Just so you don't have to worry about the key, say, being removed or, you know, being fake or anything like that. And it's just like, wow, that, you know, just the fact that this retailer is actually selling you, you know, is actually selling you a just insurance for a game key. Like, that is just weird and wrong. Let's see, what other things have happened? Like, honestly, the whole, like, game developer impersonation thing is kind of new. So I'm not exactly, like, up to speed on a whole lot of it. I get the feeling it's going to be fairly prevalent for at least a little while yet. No, a little while before, like, something... I don't know, because, like, I'm not entirely sure. Do we even need any of these? We don't. We literally don't need anything apart from levels and stuff. Let's see. Second to latest Shadow of Mordor episode. I have no idea what was wrong with the audio in it. I can take a look. Because I have no idea. I don't know. Ranting. Let's see. You know, I'm trying to think of like other people that specifically. Oh. Thanks, Sherlock. God, I hate these guys. Oh man, they're hammering anxious. Pretty holy shit, that was a nice crit. All right. Now, I haven't really like commented on this that much, but we're actually almost done with we're almost done with this game. I finished Shadow of Mordor, at least effectively finished it last night. We finished Growhome, and all we have left is one more boss in this game. So, I'm kind of glad we actually have a lot of like new games coming out to kind of fill ranks. Cause let's see, you die. But like we have Catacomb Kings, which I started what, Friday? Yeah. That one's fun. That one's going to be kind of like a nice accompaniment to Vagante, and I'm probably going to keep playing Vagante for quite a while. Same thing with Cavern Kings. Cavern Kings is a lot of fun. Armello. I'm so glad Armello is still in early access, because they just updated that one. So, I mean, of course, this is all going to be old news by the time this gets onto YouTube, but whatever. But I had never really considered this, because, what, we're on like 50-something episodes of this game at this point? I was like... we're never going to run out of content for this, ever. Turns out we're almost done. It's kind of ridiculous, and I'm really looking forward to, I'm really looking forward, not to being done with this game, but, like, coming back to it. Because I will admit, some amount of me is playing this, like, almost feverishly just so I am done with it. It's kind of like, I've got this big checklist of games that I want to get through. And... every time I beat one, it's kind of this nice sense of accomplishment. Of course, with early access games, there's not like... yeah, I'm dating my content here. Ooh, boy. Hey, at least everybody's de-stressed at this point. That's nice. Health's a bit of an issue, but whatever. Hopefully I can get maybe more food. I don't think I even care. God, I hate the corpse eaters. They're freaky looking. Oh, shoot. They're like the same thing. I actually kind of prefer the large corpse eaters to the... smaller ones, just because the smaller ones are, I don't know, just mouths? Either way. Oh, God, and people want me to do visual novels. Alright, so, seeing as this has been requested, this video might actually, I am dating things left and right today. So, the plan with the visual novels, seeing as it's actually being requested to a surprisingly larger degree, the plan with those is actually to get together with a bunch of other YouTubers and go through them as a group. Unfortunately, that's going to require a little bit more organization, so I'm going to have to actively work for that one. But we're probably going to be starting with Hatful Boyfriend at some point. And this might take a little while to get going. But that is going to be our, like, my way of doing visual novels, because I personally don't think I'd be particularly interested in going through an entire visual novel by myself. I have trouble with, like, really intensely wordy games, if that makes sense. Because me just reading, I mean, I was thinking, and I was planning on starting a Let's Play of Hot 10 Roof, but the reality of the situation was, like, I just couldn't see myself getting through that particularly well. It kind of worked with Card City Nights, because Card City Nights was super fluid and had a lot of, like, non-talking. But, I don't know. Oh, it's already unlocked. I don't even know why I'm opening these up at this point. There's nothing in here that's super useful for me. But my general solution to, you know, stuff like visual novels, and even, like, RPGs and stuff, is just simply going to be go through it with other people. So the plan is it's going to be me and pretty much the Armello crew. And we have some other plans that I can't actually spoil. But the only problem with, like, all of the grand majestic plans that I ever seem to have with, like, YouTube, please stun both of them, thank you very much. The only problem with, like, most of the grand majestic plans that I have as far as YouTube goes is, like, 90% of them involve other people. And I always, man, organizing other people for, like, anything is a nightmare. I get really lucky from time to time where it's just like, hey, you know, do we have enough people for Armello? So last night we were actually playing Armello for an hour and a half, and it was like, alright, you know, this just random pickup game. Oh shoot, should have plagued them. Oh well, not the end of the world. But Swinitar, you need to die. But just simply getting everybody together is going to be a nightmare, especially for stuff like visual novels. Really, any time where I need to organize more than two YouTubers for something on multiple occasions is practically just doomed to fail. Let's see, if anybody here specifically saw my World of Warcraft series and, like, wants that to come back. Unfortunately, that one's, like, on not indefinite hiatus, but a semi-lengthy hiatus while we wait for the guys over at Sad Games to come back for that one. Just because, as much as we'd like to continue with it, it was, like, once a week, and so we were only, like, recording 3 to 4 times a month. And seeing as World of Warcraft costs, what, 15 bucks a month, times, like, 4 to 5 people, it was, you know, just fiscally pretty wasteful. Whereas if we were able to do it, like, 2 to 3 times a week, which is a lot of time, but still, we'd just be burning rubber through the game and it'd be perfect. Okay, so we got Crests of Plenty, and that's all we seem to care about here. And it's like, I realize most people don't even care about that series, but some people did. I personally just enjoyed it because I really enjoy, and this kind of loops back on the whole, like, 4+ players thing. I actually really enjoyed large group Let's Plays. Gmod was really nice, because it's like, hey, you can organize a bunch of, you know, people in fairly short order, pickup game-wise, since you don't really have to worry about, returning members and stuff. But you also generally kind of, like, a roller coaster ride worth of content, whereas World of Warcraft, even though, like, most people probably don't care about World of Warcraft, was just kind of a fun thing to relax and talk about whatever, and goof around. And I play a lot of fairly stressful games on this channel. You know, Catacomb Kids, Vagante. Cavern Kings at this point has kind of left the, not Catacomb Kids. Cavern Kings, sorry. They're both CK. It's going to drive me crazy. I should start a Crusader Kings series. I think that would be apropos. But so Cavern Kings is starting to get to the, like, relaxing stage of I'm just fairly good at the game. And I've also unlocked all the items. But, like, 90% of the games I play either end up stressing me out or making me angry as a result of this, that, or the other thing. So, Armello recently has done nothing but piss me off. So I'm kind of hoping the most recent patch fixes stuff. But I like the idea of, like, large group Let's Plays of just super casual games, and it's rare to do that. It's rare to, like, do anything with Let's Players. Like, I was trying to organize people to play Nosgoth, because I think Nosgoth is kind of fun, even if we all suck at it. And it was just a nightmare to get everybody together, and then when it did happen, everybody had to, like, come and go as various stuff happened. It's like, okay. Let's see. What time are we even looking at? I guess it was a larger room. Heirloom chest. What do you got for me? Okay. Well, might as well camp. Hey, we did actually end up having enough food, so people got out of here with less stress than they came in with. Nice. Okay, do we have any other pep talkers? Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, well, she's got chant. And he's got encourage. Anybody else have anything? Doesn't look like it. Alright, works for me. Oh, he could have done... There we go. Everybody's completely de-stressed. For whatever reason, this dungeon made everybody feel better about themselves. Let's see. Can I play the new update of Nuclear Throne? Yeah, I could do that tonight. That'd be fun. Okay. And looks like we got Wolkoff and Crazed up to level 4. Luna is almost there. Same thing with Anxious. What does Luna get? Her insect... Ah, shoot. Wolkoff has rabies. No. Though, that could actually work out in his favor. We'll see what we have to do. I might actually... put stuff on. Yeah, I actually have a Rogue Legacy series. People have been asking me about Rogue Legacy. I haven't put up any of the episodes, and a lot of people probably have actually seen me working on the thumbnail, because that's what I've been doing prior to each of these streams, which is kind of fun. Yeah, for certain games, I will just hold on to the footage forever until I make a satisfying thumbnail for them, unless there's like some kind of like, hurry. Now, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to not go to the guild. Actually, we are going to go to the guild, come to think of it. We are going to take Wolkoff, upgrade Unimax, and it's not Wally, it's not Luna, it's not Anxious, it's Crazed. There we go. Crazed, you get to be maxed out. We need to go over to the blacksmith and do the same thing. Blah. It should be automatic. Oh, well. I guess I'm mostly just lazy. But this does mean we're going to be able to kick the shit out of things. Okay, that is the wrong place to go. We need to get rid of Wolkoff's rabies. Sure, the damage bonus would be nice, but it's... What? What? Wait, what? I thought... Huh? I thought Wolkoff had rabies. I guess Wolkoff has already gotten over his rabies somehow. I don't even know. I don't even know. Well, either way, you guys know what's coming next. So, I'll see you guys on the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. And as always, thanks for watching.